If you're running Google Ads and you're not sure how to pull a return on ad spend, in this video, I'm going to go through a basic way that you can track your Google ad spend. I'm also going to give you some more advanced ways on how you can do that as well. So first off, you may be experiencing this problem. Typically, people turn on Google Ads and they start to see some data, and that data would look like this. They'll start to see some impressions, some clicks. Maybe they've set up conversion tracking. They'll see how much they've spent, and this is just like a dummy one. This is sample data, so there's nothing real on here. They would see their average cost per click, cost per conversion, conversion rate. So the first thing that we typically recommend is you want to make sure that you set up conversions. The reason that this is important is because conversions are actually leads that happen from your website. This could be a call, this could be a web form completion, and this is through Google Tag Manager. A lot of times when people set up Google Ads, they just pick the keywords and they drive traffic to their website and they stop there. When you don't have conversions, what you don't know is what is my cost per conversion or cost per lead. So if you don't know what your cost per lead is, it's really hard to decide, is this actually working? The problem that people have is they get this cost per conversion or they don't get this cost per conversion, but they don't even know where did these leads actually come from. Are these leads actually anything? Did they turn into any revenue? Then they're spending, $2,000 and they don't know if they generated $10,000 or they generated $0 because they don't have any visibility. A lot of digital marketing companies, they don't provide any data beyond this. They say, hey, we got you this many leads. It costs you this amount of money per lead, but they don't really tell you how many leads or who the leads actually were, which is the question everyone wants to know. So how do you track this? So instead of just having a website like this and driving traffic to your website, they click here, they call here, and maybe it does correlate into a conversion in Google AdWords so that you have conversions. What we typically recommend is two things. The first thing is create a landing page like this. On this landing page, typically what you want to do is two things. You want to have as limited amount of these as you can to go to other pages on your website. Ideally, you would remove this entire menu section. You would remove any external links into other pages, and you would have just a simple landing page with a web form and a tracking phone number. You could use a platform like CallRail, Twilio, any place that you can get a tracking number. Some CRMs even have them, but you want to get a tracking number and you want to create a custom form for the website. Reason this is important, someone sees your ad, they land on this page. Let's say this is all about an electrician. You make this whole page about electrician, all the stuff that you do, maybe some videos, some reviews, blah, 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 blah. Then on this page, the call to actions are only Google Ads call to actions. So this form, if someone fills this out, that form is going to come and send you a notification just like your normal web forms. But in the subject line, it would say form from Google Ads. And this call, when someone calls that number, it's going to put a whisper message on there that says call from Google Ads. And even it can send you an email, but some way that you can track those calls in a CallRail or some system like that. So this is like the very basic one. Create a separate form and get a tracking phone number to put on this landing page. So this is usually best practice. A lot of people say create a landing page, drive traffic to that landing page. And you would, if you're thinking this, let's say that you are going to be talking about even more specific thing. Let's say if it's electrician, you're going to talk about generators, you're going to talk about heavy up, you're going to talk about EV chargers. Ideally, you would have landing pages that are specific to whatever the keyword is. The more specific the landing page, the better it converts because it's going to tell the story about EV chargers, electrical vehicle chargers, or generators. This is just a generic one that they have for generic keywords, but you want to dial in each landing page specific to the groups or the ad groups or the campaigns that you're running on Google. So this is the first way, very simple way to track your return on investment. It takes a little bit more manual. One thing that you could do is if you're entering these into a CRM or if you're automatically having them entered into a CRM, put a tag on them. And so that form that comes through, tell your CSR like, hey, anytime this form comes through, add a tag on there that says Google Ads. Same thing with a call. Anytime you hear that whisper message and you book it, add a tag on there that says Google Ads. Then you run a report for all your Google Ads tags for that month. And then you have a very simple formula for saying, okay, I spent $2,000 and in my report for Google Ads, I generated $8,000. Another big important number for this is when you get the lead, you want to know obviously how much you spent. You want to know your cost per lead, but this is a really big one, is your opportunities. Your opportunities would say, okay, I went out on this many calls and I had an opportunity to sell $10,000, but my team only sold $2,000. We had a company that we work with, and that is the exact situation. They spent $2,000 on the leads. They had opportunities to make $10,000, which would be 5x, but they only sold about $2,000 or $3,000. So it was 1 for 1. What this tells us is, were these opportunities not good? Are the ads actually generating quality leads that they're just not converting on? And this is where you start to get better data. All right, so this was the simple way that I mentioned that's tracking this stuff. The second thing is to use a platform like What Converts. What Converts allows you to do, and CallRail too. I mentioned CallRail before for just getting a tracking number, but what these platforms allow you to do is to do what's called dynamic call tracking. And what this means is you can have a landing page, but you can change the call number based off of where the traffic came from. For example, let's say it came from Facebook. This phone number would change to a Facebook call tracking number, and it would know that by the source that it's coming through Google Analytics. Let's say they came from Yelp or they came from Google or wherever they came from, it would change the phone number. Now, you could do this just on a landing page. You can also do it across the entire site. So you could change this phone number across the site if it came from a specific place. The only thing that you lose a little bit of visibility in is the web forms. You can put tracking web forms in these platforms. And even in What Converts, you can put a script on the site that will tag the source all the way through. So even if they come to your homepage and they fill out this form, then it's going to say the source of it and it's going to be able to track it. What we found to be best practice is create a landing page, drive the traffic there, use dynamic call tracking to change the information, and you get very, very clean data. The other thing that I like about What Converts, and we have no affiliation with them, we just use this for some of our companies, for some of our clients, is with What Converts, you can actually track it all the way down to the keyword. So a lot of times people would run this, they would see, the 10,000 and the 2,000, but what they won't know is, well, what exactly, this is just sample data, but what exactly was the keyword that generated that lead? And this allows you to get very, very dialed in on your numbers to say, okay, yes, this keyword generated, best lawn care garden plants. Yes, it generated 16 conversions, but it didn't actually convert into any money. So this is not necessarily a good one. And that's why it's so important to get as good a data as you can, much, much more clarity. So using a tool like one of these, CallRail, What Converts, it allows you to get much cleaner data. The other thing that I like about What Converts, and CallRail is going to get there, but What Converts allows you to pull the data back out. So what this means is you can funnel the data into your CRM, whether it's Jobber, Service Titan, whatever, but then it can kick the data back out into What Converts, and it will tell you, yeah, you generated X amount of dollars off that or not. And so when we look at this, if you are running Google Ads, a lot of times the business owner just says, oh, this is probably not hard. And they watch a YouTube video and they go and they set up Google Ads and they start driving traffic to their website. And at the end of the day, it's just a black hole. And a lot of digital marketing companies that don't actually take the time to do all of this analytics and tracking, what they do is the exact same thing. They set up Google Ads. They probably have a really good process for setting up Google Ads. But what they don't do is go in and actually pull the data, analyze the numbers, and then make decisions off of the actual numbers. They're just looking at this. They're setting up the conversions. They're looking at the cost per lead, and they're saying, okay, this one's working, this one's not. They're not actually looking at the actual thing that everyone wants, which is the return on ad spend, the revenue that's generated from these ads. And so if you're looking for that level of clarity in your business, that's what we do as a company. We have a consulting component that goes into your CRM, pulls the data, lines everything up, works with your team to make sure that you're tracking stuff properly, and ultimately making the best decisions to help grow your business. You could do that. If you could set up a meeting with us, we'll go through an audit with you. But if not, it's all good. I would highly recommend setting up at least a simple landing page, create a custom form through your website, form builder, put a custom subject line that would send you an email like that. Maybe you can't get the call number in there for now, which it kind of stinks. I would recommend just going to CallRail or something and just getting a phone number. I think CallRail is like $30 or $40 or something like that. You get some tracking numbers, put them in your website. And even What Converts is like maybe $30, $40, something like that. So hope that helps. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. If you're looking to schedule a meeting with us to discuss your marketing plan, I'll put a link down below. If not, hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.